is France 24's Gallagher Fenwick. Gallagher, what more can you tell us about this attack this evening?
Well, as you mentioned, the very latest is Hamas's military wing claiming responsibility for this attack, which led to the deaths of 4 Israelis. They were shot and killed at close range inside their vehicle in what is being described by Israeli security forces on the ground as a carefully planned terrorist attack against this car, which was subsequently riddled with bullets on a road in between a Palestinian village and the Kiryat Arba settlement in the West Bank. We've also just had confirmation, as you mentioned, that one of the women, there were 2 women and 2 men on board the vehicle, and one of the women was indeed pregnant. What's still unclear, however, at this point is whether this was perpetrated by a single gunman or several attackers. Israeli police have locked down the area in order to hunt down those responsible for the killing. And apparently at this point they have found a vehicle which was used by the attacker or the attackers. It's also important to note, lastly, that this took place in a zone in the West Bank known for its very heavy tensions between the settlers and the Palestinians.
Now, this just days before Washington hosts the first direct peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians in 20 months. What's the risk that this attack might derail that summit before it even gets started?
Well, of course, this is getting a lot of attention because although it may not derail the direct negotiations, it certainly won't do anything to help that very fragile process. So we might hear this killing being mentioned again over the next few days, as the direct negotiations are set to resume this coming Thursday on September 2nd. Also remember that U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had warned both parties involved against letting violence flare up. And we're in the process now. It's obvious that if the 2 parties really want the peace process to succeed, this will be played out as an isolated incident carried out by an isolated cell. If not, this will likely be made by Israelis into a case in point that Palestinians do not want to make peace and that Israel will not have the security on the ground which it has been calling for. So basically the timing of this couldn't be worse from the point of view of those who want peace.
Gallagher Fenwick in Ramallah, many thanks indeed for joining us.